It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody.
You rather have to be naked on stage. Answer Justin Bieber.
I have like little girl fans. I can't.
Imagine there was no laws. Imagine it wasn't like weird like that. Justin Bieber.
Justin Timberlake and Usher are fighting over getting you, and you ended up going with Usher.
Yes.
And what did Usher have to say as far as advice for you?
Definitely just to stay humble. I mean, that's probably the most important thing. If I just stay humble and stay on the right path, anything's possible.
Exactly, because you have the talent, you have the charisma, you're just as cute as you can possibly, you couldn't be cuter.
Thank you.
I mean, you may be peaking right now, be careful.
He was 13 years old, a kid from Canada with a YouTube channel and a voice that stopped the world. And the moment the industry found him, they never let him go. For years, Justin Bieber gave us glimpses, cryptic posts, tearful interviews, a breakdown that played out in public while everyone watched and judged, but nobody asked the right question. Why was he like this? Now Justin is speaking, and what he's revealing about Ellen DeGeneres, Diddy, and the world he was thrown into at 13 years old is something the entertainment industry does not want you to hear. Let's get into it. Justin Bieber was discovered on YouTube, a kid singing covers in his bedroom, no handlers, no lawyers, no idea what was coming. Usher found him first, promised to guide him, promised to protect him, and for a moment it looked like a fairy tale, a small-town Canadian boy being handed the keys to the music industry. But there was a condition nobody told Justin about. To get in, you had to meet certain people. And the first two people Usher introduced him to were Ellen DeGeneres and Sean Diddy Combs. Justin was 13. Here's where the story takes a turn most people glossed over at the time. Diddy publicly announced that Justin would be spending 48 hours with him. On camera, grinning, he described it as every 15-year-old's dream. He said they'd go full buck, full crazy. And when asked what actually happened during those 48 hours, Diddy refused to say. Think about that, a grown man, a teenager, 48 hours, and not a single detail was ever disclosed. Bieber himself has described living with Diddy, attending what was known as Puffy Flavor Camp, events filled with adult themes, adult behaviors, and an environment that no 13-year-old should have been placed in. The parties were private, phones were banned, security was tight, and the people inside those rooms were among the most powerful in Hollywood. Justin Bieber was barely a teenager, and he was inside that world. But here's what's critical to understand. It wasn't just Diddy. Because once Diddy and Ellen brought Justin into their circle, they set a precedent. They told the rest of Hollywood exactly how Justin Bieber was to be treated. And Hollywood listened. Look at the footage that's been circulating for years. James Corden leaning uncomfortably close to a 16-year-old Justin, sniffing him on camera, complimenting how he smells, while Justin sat there frozen. Jenny McCarthy grabbing him in ways that sparked immediate controversy. David Letterman putting his hands on him during a live interview, physically restraining him while scolding him about his tattoos. Letterman eventually apologized, but the video doesn't lie. On the talk asterisk, host Lee Remini physically touched Justin repeatedly and didn't stop until he said no multiple times on national television. A teenager saying no over and over on live TV. And the audience laughed. This is what the industry normalized. Because the people at the top, Diddy, Ellen, showed everyone else that Justin was available, that boundaries didn't apply, that he was a commodity, not a child. Now let's talk about Ellen, because her role in this story is one people are only beginning to understand. Ellen and Diddy weren't just acquaintances. They were close, running in the same elite circles, attending the same events, appearing on each other's platforms, light-hearted on camera. But insiders are now raising serious questions about what that friendship actually looked like behind closed doors. What did she know about those parties? What did she know about who was inside those rooms? Because the same network that included Diddy also had documented ties to Jeffrey Epstein, private islands, closed-door events, no cameras, no witnesses, and a strict code of silence among the powerful. Ellen's name appears in connection with that world, and she had the same young Justin Bieber on her show, laughing, joking, playing games. All while, according to those who were there, things were happening that no child should have been exposed to. Justin Bieber did not come out of this unscathed. The world watched him spiral in real time and called it entitlement, called it immaturity, called it being a bratty pop star who didn't know how good he had it. But what if it wasn't any of that? What if it was a teenager who had been thrown into a predatory environment at 13, with no one to protect him, no one to explain what was happening, and no one who would believe him if he tried to speak? He said it himself. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry, everyone telling me they love me and turning their back on me in a second. That's not a spoiled celebrity talking. That's someone describing betrayal, isolation, a system that used him up and called it love. Today, Justin Bieber is a husband and a father. He has stepped back from the machine that built him and nearly broke him. And now he's talking, not just about his own experience, but about others. He spoke about Billie Eilish with a protectiveness that can only come from someone who knows firsthand what that world does to young artists. I just want to protect her. I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Those are not the words of someone who has healed completely. Those are the words of someone who still carries what happened to them and doesn't want anyone else to carry it too. Justin Bieber was 13 years old when this industry found him. He was handed to powerful people who operated behind closed doors in private rooms on private islands, where normal rules did not apply. He was touched, grabbed, pressured, and exposed to things a child should never see, while the world watched and called him a star. The adults who should have protected him were the ones who put him there. And the system that should have stopped it profited from his pain instead. This is not just Justin Bieber's story. This is the story of every child who has ever been handed a dream and walked into a trap. Diddy is now facing federal charges. Ellen's legacy is under a microscope. And the network that connected them, the parties, the islands, the silence, is finally being exposed. The question now is simple. Who's next to speak? And who will finally be held accountable? Drop your thoughts below. I'm reading everything.